Hello, hello everyone. Felicia Hale coming to you live from Roseville, Michigan. And I come to you today to do what I guess I'm calling Hatching Day. I just made a post in a group and I was doing some journaling and I got myself into some vulnerable parts of myself. And I realized that I haven't really shared a lot of my story with a lot of people. So if you know me, you might know. I guess this will probably have to be done in segments, but I'm going to work really hard at opening myself up. So I guess the way my brain works is just to start at the beginning. So if you're tuning in live, please say hello to me. I could use some love and support for this. It's not really easy. So if you see that red button, please say hello. And if you don't, then that means you're watching me replay. But I guess here goes. I'm not an in my feels type of person. I don't really enjoy being vulnerable. Hey Sarah, thanks for jumping on. So this is really hard for me. I'm like the stuff it all down. I have my ish together. Don't worry about me because I'm doing just fine type of girl. So I will start at the beginning. Like I said, I think I'm stalling. So, for those of you that don't know, I was born with cerebral palsy. It is a neurological disorder that affects the brain and the body in different ways. Let me just get my tablet out of here. Oh, thank you, Sarah. You're so kind. I look crazy, I feel like, but I'll take it. So, I was born with cerebral palsy. I had a brain hemorrhage, a hole in my heart, underdeveloped lungs. I was 1 pound and 9 ounces, and my parents dressed me in Cabbage Patch clothes because regular clothes did not fit me. I spent the beginning parts of my life in an incubator, clinging for dear life. I have died 4 times as an infant, and I've had some other death experiences later in life, but we will get to that later. I wasn't diagnosed until I was 2. The doctors told my mom that I would never walk, talk, or feed myself. I had what they were calling severe brain damage. My brain waves weren't doing all the right things, I guess. As you can see, my fingers are a little bit crooked. I have broke some of them in my later years, but the pinkies especially. When I was young, my fists were balled all the time. I couldn't unclench. Part of cerebral palsy is having severe muscle tightness and spasms. It's like your whole body is just being hugged by a boa constrictor, and everything is just very intense. Don't know how to explain it. I think it's different for everyone, but that's my experience with it. So my mom, she worked with me, my biological mother. She worked with me. I was also adopted. We'll talk about that. Maybe another time. We'll see. But she worked with me, massaging my limbs and my hands, and forced me into a state of being and functioning, I guess is the nicest way to say, because some of it wasn't great. So, that being said, I got my diagnosis when I was about 2. I did speech therapy, I did physical therapy, I've worn leg braces, I've been in a wheelchair, I have had surgery to expand my muscles, been through a lot just at the beginning stages of life. Thankfully, a lot of the things that I've been through, I don't really remember. So that's good, depending on how you want to look at it, I guess. So I was born pretty much different. So that kind of fed into a part of the shaping of me, we'll say. As I just explained, I was adopted, so I think I should probably tell you guys that I was born into a broken home, broken family. My mom, forgive me if I have fam that'll see this, but a lot of you guys don't even know, she abandoned me when I was a child, me and my brother. Left us in a house alone. I don't remember how old I was when my mom did leave us, but she left us alone in a house while she went out of state, and it was very emotional. I ended up calling my dad and having him pick me up after the power in that house went out, and I didn't know what to do anymore because my brother and I were just kind of taking care of each other until we couldn't anymore. And then from there, it just kind of went through a lot of things. I moved a lot. I was very smart. I did well in school, but I had a lot of behavioral issues. My upbringing was very violent and traumatic, so a lot to unpack there. Maybe not for my first one, but we moved a lot. I've changed schools over 30 times. I think I was about 12 when my mom finally lost parental rights, and I was adopted by my mom's sister. Thank God. I did go to some foster homes, and I was in the system as a child, so that was a whole nother thing. I feel like there's so much to unpack. But I ended up landing with her for the most part after going through all my bumps. I think I made it through most of the members of my family, and they just realized that I was entirely way too much to handle by that time. Because I started smoking and drinking when I was like in the 3rd grade, and I already had addiction problems before middle school, and I held it all together. A lot of people didn't know, but a lot of people did. So it just really depends. My heart is beating really fast. Is anybody else feeling nervous about this? Oh gosh, this is not easy. God bless me. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Sarah. I appreciate it. But yeah, so by the time I was in middle school, I was just off the tracks. I've suffered every kind of abuse you can think of: physical, mental, emotional, sexual. I mean, let's just be honest. Sorry if that makes people uncomfortable, but I'm hatching, right? That's what we're doing, right? Okay. So I didn't really know where to go. Like, I think people perceived me as physically weak because I walked with a limp, or maybe at the times where I wasn't even walking, I had a cast from my toes to my hips, and okay, cool. I taught myself to walk in a cast. I'm very determined, so it's almost like if you tell me I can't do something, I want to do it even more. I don't know if that's determination or rebellion. Either way, it's served me well in life. I guess that is some of the strong suits to being a little rebellious. By the time I got to high school, I was on the road to repair, I think. You know, when my mom's sister adopted me, bless her heart, she just loved me so much. She had no idea how truly broken I was. A lot of my family didn't know a lot of the things that I had gone through with my biological mother, and so I guess if you were around, you might have saw some glimpses here or there, but it's just so dark and ugly. I think it took a lot of people by surprise as I started opening up a little bit. I've had to go to therapy and try to, function. But now that I'm older, I have my own children, and, I don't really know what people thought of me when I was in high school. I think I was a little bit too under the influence to care or notice. I was a very smart kid, so I managed to maintain a pretty high GPA while being drunk and or stoned. During school, had a lot of teachers pull me aside and say, hey, you have a lot of potential. Why are you being such a dork? Nicely said. And I don't really know where I fit in. I feel like I had friends in all groups. I had people that knew me that I didn't know, or my brother was popular, so maybe I just had some coattails. I don't know. But it was, I was incarcerated by the time I was 12. So I think maybe back up a little bit. I was incarcerated for 2 years, for drug addiction and, emotional, I don't know, breakdowns. I tried to kill myself a couple times, so probably not safe. Probably good that my family got me the help that I needed. I ended up stealing from the school book fair, got myself expelled. I don't know. I think I was just trying to push the limits to see what I could get away with in the life that I would call mine. I think there was a lot of moments for me. I've always been a child of faith. You know, I gave my heart to God when I was 5, but had a lot of moments where I was like, look, you aren't holding up your end. I don't know what you're doing, but I would literally shut myself in the bathroom, close the door, fall down on my knees, and just break down and cry. Because again, emotionally, I was not open with people. I was emotionally unavailable. Like, I don't have emotions. I'm great. I just smile because I'm happy, and this is not to keep myself from crying. So, I would just literally just ask God, like, why would you do this to me? Why would you give me such a crazy life? I just want to be normal. I just want to feel something other than pain. How can I possibly live? How can I possibly live as a child of God who's supposed to be, like, highly favored and happy? I just thought, you know, people that were living their life was feeling some type of other way, and I didn't figure out what that meant until later. But I rallied through. God definitely helped me. I mean, there was so many times. I mean, I could tell you guys so much. I definitely should not be alive today. But I am, and I own my own home. I'm married. I have children who are happy in their homes, and we haven't moved around a bunch. I've moved, you know, just as a person starting out. I left my home when I was 16 to move in with my high school boyfriend. So I had my first child at 17. That went well. No regrets. He's a beautiful boy, and he has a wonderful heart. That relationship I thought was going to last forever didn't, but about 6.5 years later, I found someone else. Was not single for very long. I'll just admit I don't understand the single girl struggle. I never really have been. I think I was single for like 1.5 months, maybe. But you know, I think that's another way God kept me, is just realizing that maybe this chick shouldn't be alone. So, I've only had 2 boyfriends, and they're both the father of my children, and the second one is my husband now, so that worked out. But I wanted to say, and I think I will stop for today because I'm not going to lie, it's really hard for me to not break down and cry, but I wanted to share my story a little bit so you guys could see more about me. I know you see me on here, and I'm making recipes, and I'm telling you guys to stay strong and encouraged, and no one knows why or where or how I get the know-how to say some of the things that I do, and it's really just truly because I have been through about 85 years of living in my 32 years or 85 years of experience in my 32 years of living. So, yeah, I mean, life's been a wild ride, and I'm happy to be here, and I am freaking out that I'm making myself totally vulnerable publicly. So, again, if you're watching, say hello so I can stop feeling some type of way. But I appreciate all of you who took the time to jump on and listen. I hope if any of you found this relatable, maybe you were encouraged, maybe you were touched, maybe you decided to do something differently. I don't know. But I guess I was led to share my story, and I'm doing it. I don't know, it's coming out messy. That's just how I roll. I mean, look at this hair. Okay, do I look like I have it all together? This coffee is not even drunk yet. So, I appreciate each and every one of you on my Facebook and on my friends list, just for supporting me, for taking the time to watch these pieces of my story, and I hope that you guys all maintain a chin up positive look, because no matter how dark and how ugly life gets, you can still go forward and continue to achieve better for yourself every single day. It's been a struggle, almost a defiance in me to say, I don't want to settle for this. I'm tired of being broken. I'm tired of being pushed. I'm tired of being abused, and I want more out of life. I want to live in success. I want to live in happiness. I want to live in peace. And I would be lying if I said I did any of this on my own. I'm going to be honest. Faith has played a very big part in this for me. And I might have some people jump off right about here, but I love Jesus. And when you hear me say that, it's because I couldn't be here if it wasn't for him. My faith has made me whole. All the broken that I'm feeling, all the broken that I am trying to share with you guys is things that I have been healing with, and God has continued to heal me. He put it on my heart to do a series called What Healing Out Loud Eliminates or Emanates. The E is variable, and I'm not sure where he's going to have me go with this, but just getting this out here to you guys that don't even know me at all, or some of you do, has eliminated a lot of the things that I was holding on to, just simply by not saying it. By simply just smiling and saying, it's fine. It's fine that we're in a plane crash, because I'm so happy right now. I'm totally not freaking out. False. So if you have the chance to share your story, if you have the chance to open up to someone, if you're like me and you keep it all in and you put that smile on and just let your optimism take control, because what lies beneath the surface is entirely too dark to let out of its cage to anyone, do it. Do it, because you don't know who you might help. You don't know who might be clinging to their last straw, to their last hope, and feeling like there is no one in this world that could possibly understand them. And then here you come. There you are. And in your own way, you've ended up making an impact on that person, and you might never know. Or they might tell you so. I mean, don't hold back. It's 2021. I mean, we just went through a pandemic as a nation, and this has been the craziest times I've ever seen in my life. And as I just explained, I've been through a lot. So just step out. Step out into you, one piece at a time, because that's what I'm going to do. And I look forward to seeing you guys here when I do it. And I thank you all for watching. I hope you have a beautiful, blessed day. Bye.